Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hanging Out for a Living. In today's segment, we have the pleasure of interviewing Mike Columbus, a remarkable sales professional at the West Hills Autoplex in Bremerton, Washington. Not only does Mike excel in his profession, but he also goes above and beyond to make a difference in people's lives. He is the founder of Mike's Rides for Lives Incorporated, a non-for-profit 501c3 charity that aims to provide free cars to individuals facing unique situations that can only be relieved by the gift of transportation. This incredible initiative operates exclusively in Washington State, where Mike's dedication and passion have made a lasting impact. Today, we have the opportunity to delve into Mike's journey, his inspiration behind this noble cause, and the challenges he's actually overcome to make a difference. So welcome to Hanging Out for a Living, Mike. Thank you for joining us today.
What a beautiful introduction. I'm glad you're recording this, so I'm going to steal that from you.
I'd be happy to send it over to you.
Yes, if you would, I'd appreciate it.
I have it all in writing.
It's been hard to describe just exactly how we do what we do, and that was a beautiful way of explaining it.
Well, thank you. So I want to respect your time. So let's dive right into the questions. I know people are excited to hear from you. So what inspired you to start Mike's Rides for Life or for Lives, sorry. And how did your background in sales contribute to the success of this initiative?
So in 2019, I spent some time developing a sales consultation company based upon what I call as tomato is the motto method, top of mind awareness through others. And so I spent 2019 developing this company and scheduled to speak in Las Vegas on March 16th of 2020, which was an infamous year for the world going black and shutting down. So the endeavor did not pan out in 2020, but the dealership was closed and I was hired as an essential employee and spent some time thinking about what my next venture was going to be. And there was a company that I was associated and knew here in Kitsap County, Washington, called the Kathleen Sutton Foundation. And the Kathleen Sutton Foundation provides transportation cost reimbursement for those that cannot get to treatment and need to hire transportation. Because of the way we're situated in the Puget Sound, there's a lot of ferry activity, and ferry is the primary means of crossing all of the water that we have here in the Puget Sound. So it is difficult to get around, and transportation is very difficult. So now having this free time in 2020, sitting at a dealership that was literally blacked out and couldn't open our doors because of state mandates, I thought about how I could pivot and how I could give back to the community when able. And what happened is when we were allowed to open our doors, we were able to sell cars to those that had an essential need only. So if someone had an essential need, like a fireman, an EMT, or some other reason they needed it to purchase a vehicle, we were allowed to sell to them. And this got me thinking about, one, all of the people that I knew through the Kathleen Sutton Foundation who needed transportation but couldn't get to their medical care. And now being forced to only sell to those who had an essential need led to the development of Mike's Rides for Lives, where I felt if I could give a small amount of each of my sale back in the way of a vehicle, then I could help many people here in Kitsap County. So that's how it was started, the summer of 2020.
Wow. That's a great story. So speaking of stories, can you share a heartwarming story or memorable experience of a recipient whose life was positively transformed through Mike's Rides for Lives?
I'll be happy to. So it was our first giveaway. The idea was that if I put away a certain amount of money from each car sale, that accounting would segregate and then give to me at the end of the year, it would be perfect. And I'm glad you used the word recipient, because through all of this process, I was very firm in the belief that there was no one winning a free car. even though sometimes the news media puts it as winning. The people that receive the car really aren't winning. They're a recipient of a car to help fill a need. But the other component that's important to me is Mike's Rides for Lives, in that it should change somebody's life. So it's an application process, and through reading the applications, the board of directors determines which of those applicants with the receiving a free car helped impact their life. And so I'll tell you the story of the first girl that received the car. Very heartwarming story. She was living in a shelter with 2 kids. She had left a domestic abuse situation so she could get free of that. She was trying to get some independence, and to do that, she needed a job, and she needed training for the job. So she had no way of one, getting to the job if she found one, and number 2, getting to the school that she needed to attend to subsequently get a job. So she received the car on January 27th, 2022. And we had a nice celebration at the dealership, and she received the car. And one of the questions on the application is, are you insurable? The reason we asked that question is because if someone had a driving record that would prohibit them from driving, it didn't make much sense to give them a car. So she answered the question, yes, she was insurable. The day of the event when she was receiving the car, and I will say that all expenses are paid by the charity Mike's Rides for Lives. So the state sales tax is paid, the licensing is paid, the doc fee is paid. And up until this point, insurance wasn't paid. And the recipient called me to say, hey, I can't afford insurance. And this was the day of the event. And so the day of the event, someone donated 30-day insurance policy for her so that she was able to receive the car without any expense out of pocket. That's important to the story because in July, she called me and said, Mike, I totaled my car. And after I gathered myself, because I could just see this turning into a disaster, after I asked, was she okay? I asked about insurance. And she said, yep, I'm insured. Good. And do you have full coverage insurance? Yes, she had full coverage insurance. And she received a check from the insurance company for $13,000, which was great. So in the 6 months between January and July, she had gotten out of the shelter. She had went to school. She got the qualifications she needed for the job. She got the job, and now she had a work history along with a down payment so that she could finance her next vehicle. So Mike's Rides for Lives was life-changing for this person that was able to turn their life around and get their feet on the ground and move forward.
Oh, that's amazing. And I'm sure she's not going to be the first and the only. So,
Now,
wow.
we gave our second car away March 24th of this year.
Excellent. It just melts my heart. These stories, they should have told me to pack some Kleenex on my desk. So let's go into our third question. Running a nonprofit organization requires consistent effort and resources. How do you manage to sustain and expand the impact of your charity over time?
Good question. It does take a lot of time, effort, resources, etc. But one of the things that I felt strongly about is creating a board that would be able to support the endeavor. So we developed a tremendous board of directors for Mike Rides for Lives. In fact, our BNI executive is on the board. But it does take a lot of time and effort. And the charity was not started for me to be the runner or the chief executive of the charity. It did get to be quite time consuming. And Mickey Peak, who's our executive director on the board, would constantly give me things that we needed to do that were just falling through the cracks. So one day we're having coffee, and I just said to her, we need an executive director to take over this charity. And she said, I would consider doing that. and I couldn't believe that she would. So we just had a meeting 2 weeks ago, and I'm stepping down as president of Mike's Rides for Lives, and Mickey Peak is taking over as executive director for Mike's Rides for Lives. I will stay on the board as founder, but I see tremendous growth moving forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And all I can say to that, Mike, is may God continue to bless the work of your heart and hands.
Thank you.
That'll lead us into our fourth question. As a sales professional, you are already helping people find the right cars. What motivated you to extend your assistance to those in need through your nonprofit work? And how has this endeavor really enriched your life personally?
Well, the first part, I'm very much of a believer in crowdfunding, in that it doesn't take a lot of effort to create huge results.
Mhm.
And I knew that if incrementally, if I just took a little bit from each sale, that wouldn't have a tremendous impact on me financially, and it was put away, then at the end of a given term, we would have accumulated funds that could help us accomplish our goals. What I didn't realize, though, is the support of the community surrounding the charity, and recognizing that there is a need, and many people came on board to help support us. So the first one that supported us with equal donations from me was the Hazelwood Family Foundation, and they've consistently matched my donations, which is a tremendous help to us. One of the local banks, First Security Bank, has also backed us and supported us, as well as sometimes individual customers will hear about what I'm doing with the sale and the donation I'm making from the sale, and they will contribute as well.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Just goes, yeah, it's so amazing that you know, blows my mind, really, to tell you the truth. So this is great. This is great. And I want to respect your time. So we're going to wrap this up unless there's anything else you'd like to add.
No, but I appreciate the time that you've given me today to talk about Mike's Rides for Lives. I do have a website if someone wanted to visit the website, which is www.mikesridesforlives.org. And there you could find more information about what we're doing.
Absolutely. So, folks, it is truly inspiring to witness this, the remarkable work of individuals like Mike Columbus, who not only excel in their chosen profession, but also actively contribute to the betterment of their community. Through Mike's dedication and compassion, he has made a significant impact on the lives of those facing unique challenges that can be alleviated by the gift of a free car. Mike's Rides for Lives stands as a testament to his unwavering commitment to serving others. We extend our deepest gratitude to Mike for sharing his story and wish him continued success in his philanthropic, I can't even say it,
You got it.
philanthropic endeavors. I told you I'd fall over my mouth. If you'd like to connect with Mike, his contact information is in the description of this interview. So, folks, that's our time for today. Keep fostering those genuine connections. And remember, when we lift others, we rise too. Stay connected and keep hanging out for a living. Thanks again, Mike. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you
Thank you.
again. Bye-bye.
Bye.